Hello!
Hi, welcome to Dusk Pop.
Today on Desktop, we're talking about Pixar's animated short Out, HBO Max, the Snyder Cut, and their anticipated lineup of shows.
Definitely something worth staying tuned in for. Shit. We'll get them next week.
We'll see you on the other side.
Yep, bye. See ya. Shit.
Howdy!
Hi. That was really loud. That burst in my eardrum.
I'm gonna have to turn that down in post, unfortunately.
Yeah, hi. Sorry.
Hello. How are you doing? How are you doing, loud Andy?
I'm doing okay. I'm my office is clean. I talked about going on a deep cleaning spree after having a roach infestation. The roaches are gone.
That's good.
Have not seen any. My house is like the cleanest it has ever been since the day I moved in, which is crazy. I know exactly where everything is. It's wonderful. Yeah, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with Reddit. We have an official subreddit now, r/deskpopcast. Check it out.
Yeah.
There's only 2 things on there, but
it's both from us, I'm sure.
Yeah. But soon there will be more, hopefully. We'll see.
You can discuss us. You can tear us to shreds.
I've been merging our thoughts and opinions on things that we've talked about in the last episode and shared it with the various communities. And it seems like we got a lot of validation from the folks over at r/Scooby-Doo. A lot of them agree with our thoughts on this movie. We definitely have a mainstream opinion on that movie. So,
sure.
I thought I would let you know that we're both not crazy for having the. I'm sure you didn't think you were crazy for it. I was very prepared for everyone to disagree with me. So I'm so glad that. I mean, it sucks that we got it. It sucks that the movie wasn't better, but it is what it is.
I kind of anticipated, like, going into this, I thought I would have the opinion of liking it, and then everyone else, like the majority, would be hating it, which is kind of like, that is kind of true, but I don't like it as much as I thought I would. So
yeah,
I'm like, I don't feel so controversial. I have been known to share a controversial opinion or two, but not on this topic.
Yeah. And the last little, or not the, does karma matter?
No.
I know that it doesn't it doesn't prioritize your profile or anything, but like when you're on Reddit,
it lends you a little bit of credibility when someone does look at your profile. But I mean, it's
because I'm just like, how likely is it that you're going to, like, whenever I look at other people's comments, I don't look at their karma.
Yeah.
I don't even know if the karma is displayed next to your username, like on just a regular thread.
No, you have to go to your profile to look at it.
Reddit confuses me, and nothing. I'm 23.
You just discovered
so
it like a year ago.
Yeah,
you discovered it on the podcast. You told us about it.
Yeah, I'm 23, so I shouldn't feel old yet. Yeah. But Reddit makes me feel old because I don't know anything about it. But it's this popular social. It's been around for so long, and I'm just now. I don't.
Tumblr makes me feel that way.
I don't mess up. When I think of Tumblr, I think of porn. I don't know what
when I think
Tumblr
of Reddit,
is, but
I think of porn. Tumblr doesn't have porn anymore. They got rid of the porn.
Yeah, I know nothing about Tumblr other than they apparently it was porn, and then they got rid of it, and then it all went to Twitter.
Yeah, and Reddit.
And Reddit, I guess.
Mhm.
And then the last thing I've been up to is I checked out, and I should have saved it for a Let's Play. But I played the Iron Man VR demo on the PS4,
Oh yeah.
and it was really janky. And after playing the Oculus Quest for a couple weeks and then going back to PSVR, that was definitely like, I think less of PSVR now.
Hmm.
But it was so gosh darn charming to be in this Iron Man simulator thing. And I wanted it to be good so bad that I tricked myself into thinking I had a positive experience.
Me watching the Scooby-Doo movie.
And I will be replaying it again, and I will be getting the final product.
Okay.
I like the idea too much to let it be bad. So
Sounds
yeah,
good.
whatever. Take from that what you will. How are you, Brian?
I'm good. I feel like it's been 1 week since you looked at me. I didn't mean to say that, but it wouldn't stop coming out.
It wouldn't stop. He proceeds to do the rest of the song. Someone fished to the dish other way, like that's how he's supposed.
Anyway, I'm great. I feel like the only big thing that I've done recently, I have begun playing Persona 5 finally. I was in this battle, like, okay.
You've never played it before?
Well, no, I think I had already told you this, but I had bought it, and then Hurricane Harvey happened, and I didn't play it, and so now I'm like, okay, I have time, but I live in a world now where Persona 5 Royal exists as well, so I'm like,
Yeah.
do I buy that and play that? Because I'm kind of a one and done type person. I'm not gonna play a deluxe edition game. I'm like, after I play the main game, like I will play one or the other. So that
If you
kind
have
of
the
slowed me
means,
down.
If you have the means, I'd
Yeah.
suggest playing R over the original.
Sure.
Because there's just more there.
Sure.
But,
I think I might, because
you know.
there's a Memorial Day sale at GameStop right now, which is like buy 2 games get 1 free. So and I just watched Disney, well, I guess Pixar's out on the Disney Plus platform, which is
you've mentioned Disney Plus before, and I'm curious if so. Are you subscribed to Disney Plus?
I subscribed this weekend to watch these things.
Okay, so are you on a free trial, or do you intend on keeping
They don't have free trials. I looked. There was not a free trial. It is like you subscribe and you pay, or you do not get to watch.
You have your mouse ears. Welcome to the cult.
Yeah, it was like, that's a very fucking bold Disney move. They know you're gonna, you're gonna do it. So
fucking subscribe. Give us our $17 a month, motherfucker.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for like the whole package and everything. I just signed up for that, so it's like $6.99. But that brings up another point. I've been watching the DC Universe content. I've been paying for that as well recently. I wanted to watch Justice League Dark because the sequel that we kind of touched on with John Constantine came out recently, the Justice League Dark Apocalypse. So I was like, okay, I want to watch that. I want to watch Justice League Dark, then I want to watch Apocalypse. It's not on DC Universe, and there's not like, it's not even like, okay, it's behind another paywall that you could then purchase that to watch.
Yeah.
It's not on DC Universe. You can.
Yeah, I think maybe you have to, since it'll release on DC Universe later. Maybe
I would imagine
first.
Eventually, but what the fuck? Like, you
DC
can rent it on
mess.
YouTube right now. Like, that's where they send you when you want to watch it. I'm like, why would I not? Like, even if I had to pay extra for it, why can I not watch it on DC Universe? Anyway, I probably will unsubscribe from that soon because
DC Universe is just a mess, and
yeah.
we're gonna talk about it a little later in the episode, but
sure.
it's gonna get integrated into HBO Max. Like
Sure.
so many DC properties are migrating there anyways that it'll be folded in,
Yeah, and
I'd imagine.
I imagine because we kind of talked about streaming services oversaturating the market on previous episode, and I imagine that will happen for a lot of the smaller ones. If you don't have the huge name recognition, like not to say that DC doesn't, but if you are not like something people recognize as a streaming platform like Netflix, Hulu, HBO now, and even Disney is its own. That's a whole giant system, but people are not gonna subscribe to your smaller streaming platform because
I
they
just
already
think
have four of them.
DC Universe is just such a niche
Yeah,
thing. You're limiting yourself severely by just putting DC
you're
content on
only
there, and
watching superhero content.
yeah, like that just seems like such a
Yeah.
bad idea. But
Because if you want to watch Marvel stuff, you could just do
you just go to
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can watch other stuff. It's just so like I think the only cool thing about it is that you also get the comics too.
Yeah. I did notice that. But yeah, so I watched Disney Pixar's out. I don't think it's I know on the outline it says Disney Pixar's out. I think it's just Pixar's out on the Disney platform. I don't think it's a Disney Pixar thing.
Well, I think it's
because like there was no Disney bumper, I don't think, in the beginning of it.
So Pixar, like usually like either it's called Pixar or Disney Pixar's.
Yeah.
There's not like a difference. I just wrote Disney Pixar's out.
I don't know. I feel like there is a difference.
Because
I feel like it was a
Pixar is
deliberate
owned
choice.
by Disney no matter what.
Sure.
So even if Pixar does something like,
but I think that was
still
still a deliberate choice to not put Disney like right on the video, even though it's in the platform. I don't know.
Sure.
I still think it was. But I want to talk to you a little bit about that, and I want us to talk about it. So, from vulture.com, they kind of describe it as the Animation Titans' newest short film out features the first gay main character in the studio's 3-decade history. The family-friendly film, which is available to stream on Disney Plus, follows a nice fella named Greg who's preparing to move into a big city apartment with his boyfriend, Manuel. However, Greg is a closeted gay man from his parents and has to deal with the surprise of his mother and father showing up to help him pack. And then he also ends up switching places with his dog to make things worse.
He switches brain or he body swaps with his dog.
Yeah. And basically the moral is that he may learn that he has nothing to hide. So yeah, what'd you think?
I liked it. I was every time there's headlines saying that Disney has a gay character in a piece of media, it's usually a Cyclops with one line and a 2-second scene, and it's censored.
Well, it's something they can cut out when they send the film to China.
And so I was already kind of like cringing before I knew anything else about it. Then I found out that the name of the short. Well, I also found out it was a short, and I was like, okay, well that makes
yeah.
more
I
sense
did tell
their
you it was a
history.
movie, and you were like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I was like, I definitely like it would have been plastered all over the place if it were a movie.
One of those moving pictures. We call them movies.
And not a stilly, it was a movie. And I also found out that it was called Out, which made me cringe even more.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I later found out that the title does fit the short, but first impressions of it was like, because it's Disney we're talking about. And I'll just go over my notes as I took while I was watching it.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
So the animation style looked like those short films that people make in Unreal Engine and Unity. It looked like a game. I really liked it.
I was kind of getting like picture book vibes almost.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of the comedic bits, every joke that they made either landed or it wasn't bad enough, or it didn't miss to where like I cringed, or it was awkward. You know, it was just something that it was easily brush it off. It's no big deal. Um, I think there's this part in the very beginning where his boyfriend's helping him move, and they quickly establish that his parents do not know he's gay. Um, and then he's like, "Oh, like I'll tell them, like no big deal, like I'm just taking my time or something." And he opens up the door, and his parents are there to help him move. And he does this shriek, and he slams the door. And that comedic bit was like, that was great.
I didn't expect that. Yeah, I was like, oh.
I knew nothing about this going in, so just the plot immediately starting off like that, and then the body swap, didn't see it coming. So it was just like this pleasant surprise.
Well, you should talk about the weird aliens that came from the sky in the beginning.
So a rainbow shoots down from the sky, and you're like, okay, I get it. So a blue cat and like a green dog, or like there were strange colored animals.
It was a
purple,
like a
maybe?
purple cat and a pink dog, and they're very much like, I kind of interpreted those are a very like gendered kind of colors. But yeah, go ahead.
So this duo comes down, they both can talk, and they're just like, hey, check this out, something cool's about to happen. And they zap a dog's collar. The dog's collar changes color, waltzes inside, and then they move on to the main exposition of it, and you kind of forget about the collar. Later in the short, you find out the color that the collar changed had something to do with it being magic, and it somehow allowed the dog and the main character Greg to switch bodies. But yeah, hijinks ensue. The dog, or Greg in the dog's body, is running around trying to hide things so his parents don't know that he's gay. He eventually finds out that his mom knew the whole time. He switches back and reveals his boyfriend to his parents. So then later they all get together, and it's this nice scene of them all having a barbecue or something. And that's it. That's it. Everyone learns a nice little lesson, and then the alien animals get rainbow beamed back to wherever they came from.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. I mean, I feel like they
almost said the gay word.
They did not say the gay word, which
they almost did though.
They made a choice to not.
Yeah, I was like, oh, like that. I think that's an even bigger like. Oh, they almost said the word gay in a Disney.
That's the thing is like, okay, great. I love to see it.
They managed to censor.
Yeah, they somehow still managed to like, okay, it's clearly like a gay. You can say the word gay, like it's not a bad word.
I guess you can't.
Well, whatever. But and that's my whole thought on like they did
really good friends.
I know that it's in the like Disney platform, so that name is associated with it for sure. But I definitely think the choice was made to not put like a Disney bumper on it, if I'm remembering correctly. But anyway, that's here nor there. Whatever.
I'd be curious to look at the rest of the Pixar shorts to see if Disney's in front of it, because I feel like
I think that's
not
fair.
putting Disney in front of it would invoke more attention because it's not like an isolated short; it's a part of a series of shorts.
Sure.
So I feel like that would like cause more eyes to be on that media than it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's part of a series, which I didn't realize it was a series, is it?
Yeah, Pixar. It's just called Pixar shorts.
But I mean, not like an anthology or something.
Yeah, it's an anthology. Yeah, they've been making these like short films since Disney Plus launched, of like short films made specifically for Disney Plus that are like 10 minutes, and they're each about a different thing.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I didn't see any branding that made me believe that there were anything else linked to this, like any other stories.
I'll look it up, because you questioning me about it is making me lose confidence in this.
I didn't see anywhere that it was a series of things, because that might change my opinion. But I'll talk about some other things I like. So obviously it's Pixar's first gay main character, which is exciting. it was rated PG, which I thought was good. You know, I feel like, obviously, I mean, I feel like yes, but uh, I don't know. I thought it was good. It was an interesting story because I feel like they could have done a gay story in like a lot of different ways and a lot of like safer ways. So this one was an interesting one for me, like, to talk about to adults, and then like at one point they make a joke about him like having this like sexy fireman calendar, which I was like, ooh, racy of you, Pixar, to do this weird joke in here, in this PG animated short. But yeah, I thought overall it was a very nice message. The dad kept grilling things in the backyard, which I didn't understand because the mom had brought dinner and put it in the oven, and the dad, unless I missed a line of dialogue, just like goes out in the backyard and starts grilling and continues to grill like throughout the entire short. I don't know if that was just supposed to be like a comedic thing, but
Yeah, that is weird. Sorry that it's taking longer than normal.
it's fine. Usually I'm the one that looks things up.
Yeah, I'm not used to this, and I now understand your world.
It's very hard to keep a conversation going while you're trying to look something up, for sure. But
yeah, and I apologize, and I'm going to give up in a few seconds because
okay.
So each individual short has its own thumbnail in the... Yeah, it is a series. It is indeed a series. It's called Spark Shorts, and they are all about 10 minutes. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
What are they called? What's the title of them?
Spark Shorts.
Spark Shorts. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm on the Disney Plus app right now. The reason I was having a hard time finding it is that they're not all labeled as like a show. They all have their own individual... Yeah, it's like their own movies, but they're all under the same like Spark Shorts.
I feel like I wouldn't consider that. I wouldn't consider it a series. I feel like I understand like, you know, why you're saying that, but I feel like it's just like kind of a playlist they're putting these things in, like that all fall in a similar category but are unrelated. So, because you can call
it's not Pixar either. Oh yeah, it is.
It is Pixar. It is for sure.
Okay. It's actually, it's weird how it's not labeled Pixar's. It's Spark Shorts.
Yeah.
But this isn't the first one, so that I don't think that was a deliberate move. Because all these other ones before
like, I don't feel like it was a deliberate move in like just targeting this specific short. I guess let me elaborate my thoughts a little bit.
Yep. Sorry about that, but
you're fine.
I'm back, engaged, ready to.
Let me elaborate. So I think that it was a deliberate choice to debut a gay main character in a like safer setting like this, where it's like not as associated with main Disney properties and that kind of like. Yeah. This is like you have to search it out to kind of find it, unless I guess it's recommended to you. I don't know, but and so I think that was a deliberate choice in general, but I'm not mad about it. I think it's fine. I think it's good. It's definitely some progress. It's nice.
Yeah, I don't think I can't really see any negative things coming from the existence of this.
I mean, there are always people who are upset about just gay people existing. So
well, on that front, I'm not talking about like boosting, them. I'm just saying like as far as representation in general and like that being that leading to something else maybe.
I definitely think it's a doorway to potentially more.
It's not like some that like, oh, we did it, like we don't have to do it again ever. Here's the Cyclops police officer who mentions their girlfriend for like a 2-second thing.
I am much happier about this than I am about that, because this is like a closed story. It's fully like, okay, this is the point of the story. It's much more clear.
It was just a really nice thing. I was very pleasantly surprised that this came out of Disney. That was very weird. When is Pride month? Like, is that
So Pride is in June. It's kind of different in different places. Like it basically happens
yeah?
all year, but um, Pride in general happens in the month of June.
Yeah, because
So
I was just trying to like be the cynical like, oh, why would Disney? What's Disney doing here?
I
Um,
mean, it is close to Pride, and I feel like I saw a lot of people because there is a big overlap in gay Disney fans. Like that is like kind of like they're like the horse girls of the gay community. You know what I mean? Like it's a culture that exists, and they're very like into
horse
Disney.
girls?
Yeah, you don't know horse girls?
Are you just talking about like girls that are like obsessed with horses,
Yeah,
or are
you
you
know
talking
that
about
stereotype of like horse girl, where it's like this
yeah?
girl and she's
And
like into
she
this weird thing, and she just uh, love you horse girls, by the way. Um, but no, Disney gays are
Brian loves
like
horse girls confirmed.
uh, it's like it is a subculture of like gay people who are like obsessed with Disney. So it's interesting to see that they're finally doing something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. The only thing I knew about like I just knew the only time I ever hear like gay in Disney is when it's like Cyclops Cop or
Hmm.
the couple in Finding Dory
Yeah.
or um the whole Elsa thing and like oh Elsa's gay and
Yeah.
Disney's like we're gonna insinuate it with as many visual and dialogue things as possible and not do it. Um
Yeah. Which
but
I'm fine
didn't know
with
that that
her.
was an entire subcategory of
Yeah. Yeah.
nice.
But yeah, no, it is exciting to see like a fully fleshed out story. I would highly encourage you to watch it if you haven't seen it. Um, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's like I think it's 10 minutes.
It's
Yeah,
like
it's like 10
9.
minutes.
Yeah.
Um, and I almost said it's free just because everyone's a part of the hive mind of Disney.
If you
Just
are
watch it.
if you are a Disney gay or a horse girl, you already have Disney Plus, so just go ahead and watch it.
um,
Those are our
yeah, let me
two.
see.
That's our community, by the way. Those two people.
Uh, okay.
That's what I want for us. I
And
say
that's and
more power to the horse girls of the world. More power to the Disney gays.
and that's all we can ask for. You know that I think that is just it's in the Constitution.
Hmm.
You know, we all deserve Disney gays and horse girls
Yeah,
for everyone.
for everyone. I think
For
they're their own people, Andy. Yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of all my thoughts on that. If
I didn't
you
rate it. I should have rated it. I might rate it in my review
post,
system after this.
yeah, post,
I never rated a short film before.
yeah, I'd be curious to see how that works. Yeah, I don't really do ratings, but I would recommend it. Like I said,
Yep, I'd give it a thumbs up. It was good.
yeah.
There was nothing I didn't like about it. It was great.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I didn't like is that they don't say gay, and then it's not a longer story, but I mean, it's a short, I'm happy about
Yeah.
that. I'll take what they give me.
Oh,
you know?
Wheezy from Toy Story 2 made a cameo as
Oh,
the
yeah.
squeaky toy that the
Yeah.
dog carries around, which
Yeah,
was
that
a
was
nice
nice.
little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Wheezy in a bit.
But yeah, so I think that's about all we can say on that. If you enjoyed it, let us know in the comments, please. Or if you hated it, let us know your thoughts.
Yeah. And HBO as in HBO Max
Mm-hmm.
is another streaming service that is
As in
coming up
Skinamax.
it's coming up super fast. May 27th is when it releases. Will our episode be out when
I think it'll be the same day.
yeah. So
Yeah.
in
So
between
today.
your episodes of Desk Pop, try to fit in some HBO Max in there. But they've been making headlines recently. Obviously, they're coming out soon, but they also got a hold of the fabled Snyder Cut of the Justice League, and are planning on releasing it next year, either as a mini series or a full movie. So
A 4-hour movie or a 6-part miniseries.
yeah,
Which, Jesus fucking Christ, I don't want to sit through that much Justice League.
it is apparently getting a $30 million budget on just post production. Snyder wanted to do principal photography and do some reshoots, but that was shot down. I think if they do any reshoots, it's confirmed that the original cast will not be returning for those.
Interesting. So
And
it'll all be stunt actors.
It's like really shitty Craigslist. Like, oh, I'm Henry Cavill.
A birthday party superhero. Birthday party Superman.
Please. Yeah, so this opens up just Pandora's box of questions of, you know, the, if you know me, I'm obsessed with canon. Is this going to be canon now? Is the Snyder Cut of Justice League going to be the foundation of anything in sequels and spin-offs? Who knows?
I don't know.
And yeah, also I hate to say it, but this movie is going to be bad.
I hope it is.
Watch this movie flop so fucking hard.
I feel bad because I don't want to just hate it to hate it, because I haven't even seen the first version of it, but
you're not missing much, pal.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's awful. But I just like, I don't like this. I have so many mixed feelings. I think it's fine they're releasing the Snyder Cut, whatever. I think people are hyping it up so much that it is not going to live up to expectations that people have in their own minds.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I anticipate. And maybe it will be better. Maybe we'll both be surprised. Maybe it will salvage the movie in a lot of people's eyes. But why couldn't it have been done right the first time? You know what I mean?
Well, I think what ended up happening was,
I know he had a family issues and
had to leave.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is, you look at his track record.
I'm not rolling my eyes at that, by the way. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
He can take off, but I'm just the whole situation in the movie and just.
So I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder directed Batman versus Superman, right?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Yeah, let's look this up real. I'm 99% sure he did. I'll look it up on my phone as well, just to.
Oh, so neither of us are talking. That'll be
Dawn
good
of
for,
Justice.
That'll be good for us.
Yeah, directed by Zack Snyder. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and he did Man of Steel.
Yeah. So you look at his track record. He made really edgy Superman movie. Now I liked this movie. I don't want every movie to be like it, but I liked it. Then he did Batman versus Superman. That movie was hot garbage. It was really bad. It was really edgy. The whole dude, wake the fuck up, Batman kills people thing. The Martha line, which regardless of its thematic intention is just, it came across as really ridiculous. Those things.
What? You mom and me mom? They got the same name? Are you telling me that?
So, he did those two things. So what in the world possibly made you
it's the actors that are lending credibility to this. The actors were the ones that were like, wow, like the Snyder Cut, like they were making these promises, if I remember correctly, like over Twitter, like, man, we should have seen the Snyder Cut or whatever, and like that's kind of what I think ignited the whole thing.
It's just this, when he was in charge of things in Batman vs Superman, it was still bad, and I don't understand what makes anybody think that this movie is going to be better than it was, because like, Joss Whedon, he wasn't solely in charge of things. He was working off of a vision and the casting and the artistic direction of Zack Snyder. Anyways, and again, and you'll hear this a lot in this episode, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Joss Whedon took over the director's chair and decided to change literally everything. I doubt it.
But so here's where it all falls apart for me. If your vision is a 4-hour movie, maybe that's the failure. Like, if you could not tell a concise story, like in the kind of culturally like decided upon like 2 hours of movie time, like maybe you should not have, like maybe the failure was on your storytelling or your like, you know what I mean? Then it should have been 2 parts in the first place. Like,
I think the reason why it's going to be 4 hours is that they're no longer limited by having a theatrical release.
Sure.
Like,
do you want to sit through 4 hours of that? Like,
I think if Zack Snyder was initially in charge the entire production, we would have gotten like a 2.5 hour film in theaters.
Sure.
But since everything happened and the Snyder Cut's a thing, I think since it's a streaming service, it'll be 4 hours, which I think if it was in theaters, I'd be annoyed by it. Avengers, it really sucked because I fell for the meme of needing to pee during the movie, because you go to the restroom before you see a 4-hour movie, but then during the movie, it's long enough for it to develop, and then you need to go. There's no way you could avoid it.
Yeah.
Anyways, but if it's on a streaming service, I can just pause it. It's fine. But this movie is going to be bad.
That's going to be so much like, I don't want to sit through 4 hours of content. Like
the movie isn't finished.
Yeah.
He can't reshoot things.
Which,
so we're
that's
going
another,
to get CGI stuff. Is it going to be animated?
That's another thing to me. So if it's not fucking done yet, then how do you know it's better? You're just saying that, like, you're just hoping that. I mean, sure, if you have another year to fully flesh it out and another $30 million, sure, maybe it's going to be better. But if it's not a finished product yet, then I thought that was the whole thing. I thought that was the whole thing of the Snyder Cut. I thought it was a finished product. Maybe I must have totally misunderstood.
I thought that all the footage was done and it was cut together and it was a Snyder Cut.
Yes.
But any motion capture things, they didn't overlay the CGI and do all that stuff. That was what I thought.
Okay.
But the $30 million budget in post-production and him asking to reshoot things and redo photography is making me think, okay, well, was it not finished?
Sure.
Did he not get everything? Obviously, he left in the middle of production, but like, I'm sure they still filmed the things from the script that he approved of from the beginning, right? Who knows?
I don't know.
Like, it's so bizarre, and I'm glad fans are getting this, but it's just so toxic.
Yeah.
I don't like the fan base that I don't really enjoy is the DC fan base, because like they come from the perspective of, how do I like this, as opposed to, is this good? They approach everything with, I'm going to like this no matter what, and I'm going to be really loud about it. And if it's not good, there's a secret treasure cut of this whole thing.
That is the thing that
going to save everything.
That is the thing that annoys me. It's this fabled idea that there's this hidden masterwork cut of the movie that somehow makes it so much better, but you don't know that. There's nothing that has been promised to you that, like, you haven't seen anything that would display that. You've only seen the bad movie, and I know I haven't seen it. I'm a shit person, but for having these opinions on it without having seen it.
Well, it's so easy. It's so easy to have opinions about things that you don't. What it's so great. But this has sparked a new hashtag, release the Ayer cut. And they're referring to the David Ayer version of Suicide Squad. Apparently there is a director's cut of this movie that is better. And again, I say, I'm sure it's either the same bad quality or it's worse than what we got. It's they hire this director for a reason. Like, they didn't put like,
I mean, there could be an entire version of the movie where, because they've done the same thing with that movie, where they talk about how, wow, the Joker footage is so good for this movie. Well, then why didn't it fucking make it in? Like, why did you cut it? If it was so good.
Yeah. Yes. It's just annoying. It's so annoying. And like, I don't care about DC canon right now. I think as of right now,
Is that the only
the
thing
Justice
you don't
League is
care about
not
the
canon. I don't think the Justice League movie now is currently canon in the current slate of DC. I think they announced that it's not canon or it's not being referred to, or I don't know. But when this
Comic
Snyder
books
Cut
in
comes
general
out,
have too many parallel universes, so like everything can be canon.
DC did a
but
good job at like establishing a multiverse. Marvel is like a weird one right now, but anyways, so that's a weird thing. I'm glad we're getting it. I'm gonna watch it. HBO Max has done such a good job at getting it's like every non-Disney property has band together to fight Disney Plus in the
they
form of
have
HBO
to.
Max.
They have to.
It's because looking at all these other streaming services that are out, I'm like, whatever. But this has like, it has like Lord of the Rings. It has all the DC stuff, Rick and Morty, South Park, Friends. The slate is really strong. So I'm definitely going to get it, and I'm hyped for it. And the last thought I'll say before we jump to our next Max related material is whichever streaming service snags the rights to all the Harry Potter movies is going to make a killing. Like,
I mean, it's gonna go over the other Warner Brothers stuff is, right? I mean,
well, I'd imagine because HBO has like a
HBO.
lot of the Warner Brothers stuff, but they haven't announced Harry Potter yet. But that's going to be a bombshell. Like, people are going to flock to whichever service, probably HBO Max, that gets the Harry Potter movies, and that will be like this new Avatar caliber thing where everyone gets together and watches these movies together, and it's gonna be insane.
Do you mean Avatar the movie or the show?
The show, when it launched on Netflix, everybody flocked to it, and it's currently in vogue to watch it now. Good for Avatar. Tiger King was so 3 weeks ago. Avatar is where it's at.
I'm glad people are discovering Avatar. That's really exciting.
It's great. I hope the live action series is good. We'll see. But Looney Tunes. So HBO Max released a couple of episodes of their series for free on YouTube.
Okay.
And they released a Looney Tunes short. Were you able to watch
Nope.
it?
Nope.
Fair enough.
You can describe it to me.
So it's established very similarly to the original Looney Tunes shorts, where it plays a title card, and then for the first half of the episode it establishes like one premise, and the second half of the episode's another thing. They're disconnected. It's like a Tom and Jerry type thing. One's trying to catch the other. First one is a Tweety Bird one. Sylvester eats a cupcake that looks like Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird falls into a thing of flour and now appears as a ghost. And now Sylvester's running away from Tweety, thinking that Tweety is a ghost. He's being haunted. Turns out he's not. And then he's very glad that Tweety's alive. It wasn't very good. It was it wasn't. It was very surface level. It was like very like, this is for children. And I was like, okay, like that sucks, but what can you do? And it was definitely toned down as far as the violence comes. Looney Tunes is known for its violence, but modern Looney Tunes have toned it down severely just due to the violence not aging well. The second half of the short, and I'll describe this one a bit more because this one was really good. Daffy Duck is walking on a sidewalk and he sees a stick of gum. And he goes, "Ooh, gum, my favorite." He like launches his tongue out of his mouth like a frog and like eats the gum, and it's really weird. And
I think ducks do that with their penises. Do you know that? They like have like corkscrew penises that they like rape other ducks with.
Well, this episode just went.
Continue.
Well, not safe for work now.
Continue.
So he starts chewing the gum and he starts doing all these little gags of the gum or whatever. And he's like, all right, I'm done with this gum now. And he tries to spit it out, but now it's stuck on him. And he's stuck on the sidewalk because his foot's stuck to the gum. And so he's trying to get the gum off of himself. Sometimes he manages to get the gum off, but then it's stuck on a different part of his body. And so the whole episode is him trying to get unstuck from the ground that this gum is on.
Okay.
Goes on through the whole short. All these gags happen. A lot of it's pretty funny. And at the very end, he tears the gum off of his whole body's covered in gum. He tears the gum off, which tears all of his fur off, or all of his feathers off. So he's just this like naked duck.
His duck fur.
He's like, finally I'm free. Somehow gets stuck in the gum again. He's like, well, there's only one last thing to do now. And he unzips his body, there's a zip, and his skeleton steps out of his body and walks off. He walks off of frame right, and on frame left comes in a new Daffy Duck, and he sees the gum on the ground. He goes, "Ooh, gum, my favorite," and it just like the beginning, and then that's the end. And it was really fucked up. It's just like, is he in purgatory or something? Is he in this never-ending loop of finding gum and then getting stuck and then killing himself and then coming back and finding the gum again?
It's like Daffy's Inferno.
I loved it. It was like this sight gag or whatever, but then like the ending is still like, I mean, it's not this deep thing. I'm sure it was like this like quick little gag, but there's just so many implications with it that's just like kind of unsettling. And I think that's what Looney Tunes is all about, is stuff like that. So I really liked it. My faith in it has been restored. I'm looking forward to the Looney Tunes series on HBO Max. Elmo was getting a talk show. It's called Not So Late Show with Elmo. He has actual guests. It's also a very kids-esque show. The Jonas Brothers were on for like a free episode on YouTube. They sing this original song about brushing your teeth, which is really funny. It's charming. I won't ever watch it, but if
it's
I'm
like
sure
the kids' version of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Yeah, basically. If you're a parent, I'm sure it's less annoying to watch that with your kids than it would be to watch anything else.
Sure.
But yeah, there's pop culture references and stuff in there. It's kind of neat. But the next thing about HBO, so many things about HBO, and we should ask for, where's our sponsorship money?
It's in the mail.
I thought it would be neat to do a segment called Yay, Nay, or Meh. All right.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'm going to rapid fire go through some HBO Max original shows that will be airing on this platform, either on launch or later in its lifetime.
Okay.
I'm going to give a brief description of it, and you're going to tell me, yay, you're looking forward to it, nay, you hate it, or meh, you don't care. All right, Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Grease, Rydell High. It's a musical romance series that is a direct continuation of the musical Grease.
Nay.
Tuned Out. During a rough patch in his life, Max starts to see iconic cartoon characters ranging from the Looney Tunes to Droopy Dog, but they're not just there for laughs, they're there to help him. This is made by the same director of Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That lends it a little bit of credibility, but I have to go with like a meh. Like, we've seen that kind of story before, like human sees cartoon characters for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Next one. Adventure Time Distant Lands. 4 1-hour-long Adventure Time specials that each focuses on. One focused on BMO, one focused on Princess Bubblegum and Marceline, one on Peppermint Butler, and the last one on Finn and Jake.
Yay. Absolutely. I think this is really cool, fresh content I'm excited for.
The next one, and this one's a little weird. We went on a binge a long time ago where we started watching rejected Cartoon Network show pitches.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ones we watched was called The Fungies, and it was about this fungus group of people called the Blurbles or Fungies or whatever. Do you remember this? They're all like mushroom people.
So I remember us watching this, but I don't remember specifics about it. I do remember it.
I remember we both weren't fans of it. I don't.
Yeah, I have an answer for it already.
but it just now years later was picked up
Yeah.
as a show for HBO Max.
Yeah.
But yay, nay, or meh?
Between meh and nay. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Next one, Gremlins: Secrets of Mogwai, an animated prequel series to the first two Gremlins movies set in the 1920s.
Yay. Why not? Let's see what it
Um,
is.
The next one, the same guy who spearheaded the Chowder series is now taking on Hanna-Barbera properties in this new series called Jellystone. I have attached a piece of promo artwork for it. I really like this, the art style is very reminiscent of Chowder, if you've seen that show. But yeah.
A little, yeah. Yeah, yay. I feel like we kind of talked about this at length in our last episode about Scooby-Doo and Hanna-Barbera, and I feel like, yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, there's a lot of characters I really love. I love, Pink Panther, Yogi Bear, Jabberjaw. I feel like there's so many familiar faces there. It's really exciting. Yeah, I'm excited.
Wow, I think you confused Snagglepuss with Pink Panther.
Oh, maybe I did. It's
Wow.
very far away from me, Andy.
Uh-huh. Oh,
The
it's just
photo
so
is
far
very
away.
far away.
Wow, all pink cats look the same. Wow, Brian, you've heard it here. And the last one on our list is the Friends reunion special.
I'm not a fan of Friends, but I mean, I know a lot of people will, but for me, nay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Overall, I think this is that's the end of our segment. There's no more. There's a lot of other content there, but it's like explaining the premises of all those other shows it's too much. It's not elevator pitch material like these other ones, so I did not include them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like for the most part, I'm not super into Grease.
I think that's such a strange show to pick, because I think Grease in itself explores themes that are like, oh, let me just change myself for this other person, and
I see it as a like, okay, a direct what do you call it? An answer to Disney Plus's High School Musical series. Like, I see it something like that.
That makes perfect sense now that I think about it that way. Yeah,
but
you need to launch.
I'm not a huge fan of Grease. I mean, it's fine, and I know it is a cultural touchstone, and I don't hate it, but it was on TV last week, and me and Aaron finished watching Drag Race, and I think Grease came on, and I was like, nope, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I think the only ones on here that I'm actually looking forward to right now is Tuned Out, for the same reason that you had the same thought process as I was explaining it as I did. Finding out that the Roger Rabbit guy is working on it. I think it's Robert Zemeckis. Zemeckis. I
can't even tell Snagglepuss and Pink Panther apart, so I have no idea.
But knowing that they're trying to go for that, and like Bugs Bunny and other like mainstream characters are going to be in this, makes me excited for it. Adventure Time is like, okay, I haven't finished Adventure Time. I'm going to now that I know this is coming. And Jellystone, I really like that promo artwork.
I love that. I love that there's so many characters. I feel like with the Adventure Time stuff, what excites me is that it's a different format. Like, so I mean, it'll be like these focused stories on these characters, which I think is really exciting. I feel like Finn and Jake like don't really need one, but just because like the whole show is kind of about them, but.
I don't know what happens at the end, but like
sure.
each canned special has been described already, and it focuses on Finn reuniting with Jake. I don't know what happens at the end of Adventure Time, but from that I could assume that they separate or something at the end.
I haven't finished it either, but I would assume probably yeah.
But
so maybe it is what fans want. I don't know.
The BMO short, they released a trailer for that, and it looks so good. Yeah. BMO's on like another planet, and there's like this bunny girl person that he teams up with in order to. Is BMO Do we know?
I think
BMO's
BMO might not have a gender. It's voiced by a woman, but I feel like it might just be non-binary, like just a robot. Oh, yes. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to subscribe to us, like the video, comment. You can find us on social media at BestPopcast. And if you have specific questions, comments, or topics of conversation to explore, email us at bestpopcast@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening.